Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. The Nations League have finished off, the Champions League has finished off, and all the European top 5 leagues. But the season isn't over yet because we have the Club World Cup. The first edition of the Club World Cup. Obviously, the Club World Cup has always existed, but before it was only one team from each continent, which still exists as called now the Intercontinental Club World Cup. And this is the Club World Cup. First ever edition. You gotta compare this maybe to the Champions League transition from I think 91 to 92. So when it went from I think the European champion or something to the Champions League. It's a rebranding, an improvement, a huge improvement. Like this is a drastic improvement. One team from every continent, and now it's much bigger. It's a World Cup but with clubs instead. So excited. But let's get into my prediction. Shout out to FIFA. On their website, you can do a prediction right here. I will leave this in the comments down below if you want to do the prediction yourself. But let's start with Group A. You got Palmeiras from Brazil, Porto from Portugal, El Ahly from Egypt. I believe the most successful club of all time in the world. Like 127 trophies or something. The top European ones. It could be like Celtic Rangers because they've existed for so long and they're like the only two teams that win trophies. But I know like Madrid and Barca got like 90 something, like 93, 95 each. So El Ahly, very successful. And Inter Miami, newly established club owned by David Beckham. We obviously know Lionel Andres Messi plays over there. Sheesh. It's a tough one. I believe Palmeiras recently won the Copa Libertadores. I actually want to check that. Copa Libertadores winners. Because I think they have the last 3 Copa Libertadores winners in the Club World Cup. I qualified. Botafogo, Fluminense, Flamengo. Okay, no. Palmeiras won it in 20 and 21. They will obviously have Estevão, who will be joining Chelsea. I think he will have this Club World Cup and then join Chelsea after that. So, Porto, you know, this year, Porto good, El Ahly, Inter Miami. It's really tough to predict because I don't know that much about these clubs and like they're not that far away from each other quality-wise. El Ahly are interesting. I don't know how good they've been recently. African Champions League. Let's see. Because I know that the Tunisian team is always good. They're also in this competition. All winners, let's see. Pyramids FC. Wow, Pyramids FC won it now. And it has to be an Egyptian club. El Ahly. Wow, look at that dominance, man. Look at that dominance. Yeah, okay, so that Tunisian side, it was 17, 18, 18, 19. Since then, El Ahly are basically like Madrid of Africa. You know what? Alright, I'm gonna go with this. Palmeiras, El Ahly, Porto, Inter Miami. That's gonna be my prediction for Group A. I think Inter Miami, I've watched them. They're not that good. Obviously, they have Messi. Messi can do, you know, he can have Messi moments, but I just don't think it will be enough. And that Inter Miami defense absolutely stinks. I also thought they would get better when Mascherano came in as the manager, but they've only gotten worse. Porto, I don't think they've been stronger Porto sides, and I think Palmeiras and El Ahly will shock the European side, and we'll have one African team and one South American team into the knockouts. Moving into Group B, this is a group where I have more knowledge. Paris Saint-Germain, Atletico Madrid, 2 clubs that absolutely face each other this season. Botafogo of Brazil. Libertadores. Okay, so you see, Botafogo won the recent Libertadores, so they're coming in with great form. And Seattle Sounders. But I think this is one of the easiest groups to predict. It's basically everyone is already ranked. PSG is by far the strongest. Atletico Madrid is by far the second strongest. Botafogo is by far the third strongest. I would say the only surprise we could have in Group B is Botafogo going ahead of Atletico Madrid. Because Botafogo, they are a good team. This will be a good team. Seattle Sounders, I don't think they're that good. Put them in 4th. And I can't, as a Paris Saint-Germain supporter, I can't wait for this rematch. I really want to beat Atletico Madrid. And they are a good team, making good signings now, even in the summer. So, yeah, I think this one was the easiest to predict. And yeah, The only surprise, as I said, maybe Botafogo make it. Moving on to Group C, we have Bayern München of Germany. We have, I think, Auckland of New Zealand. Shout out to Tayo. Boca Juniors of Argentina and Benfica from Portugal. Bayern first. I mean, simple. Shout out to Auckland, but I think they're going to finish fourth. And then it's between these two teams. I don't know how... You see, Boca... I don't even know how did Boca... Yeah, Boca probably made it because of coefficient points. So they've been like consistent in the Copa Libertadores, the Champions League of South America, but they've not like had a peak year. I gotta go Benfica, Boca, and Auckland City for Group C. Moving into Group D, we have Flamengo of Brazil, Esperance Tunis from Tunisia, Chelsea FC, and LAFC from America. And they obviously qualified. I think they recently beat another team. I remember someone said that in the live stream. Gotta be Chelsea. I think Chelsea are the strongest here. Flamengo, Tunis, and LAFC. That's the prediction I'm going with. I think, once again, easy to predict. A bit similar to Group B. You have one standout team, one second standout team, and then I think Esperance Tunis will be stronger than LA. The thing is, this tournament will be played in America, so I don't know, maybe home advantage for the American teams. But I don't know. Yeah, that's why I'm going with Group D. Moving into Group B, we have River Plate of Argentina, Urawa Reds, who Paris Saint-Germain faced previously in the preseason of Japan, Monterrey of Mexico, and Inter Milan. Paris Saint-Germain obviously facing the final, beating 5-0, may I add. Monterrey obviously they have Sergio Ramos. I think that's how I know a little bit more about that club as well. Inter, wait, let me redo that. Because Inter on paper should be there. But Inter coming off a 5-0 humiliation, losing Inzaghi. You know what? I'm going to go with that. River Plate, just have that vibe. They just have that vibe. Monterrey, Urawa Red. I would go with that. Inter Milan, you know, not coming with the strongest confidence. Still making it onto the next round. But not as good. Group F, Fluminense of Brazil, Dortmund of Germany, Ulsan from South Korea, I believe, and I don't remember that name, Malsua from South Africa. Cheeky. You know what? I'm going to go with Fluminense, backing my boy Thiago Silva to make it first in the group. You know, in the World Cup, national team, we always, you know, South Korea and Japan can be a bit cheeky. But now let's go with Dortmund. Ooh. Yeah, Mamelodi Sundowns. Ooh. Asia Champions League. How did Ulsan make it? Have they won it, or is it coefficient points? What's this? Most valuable player. No. Yo, where's the winners year by year, man? Why is this so weird? Oh, they put the year here. Seasons 1. 2020. Yeah, you know what? Fluminense, Dortmund. Shout out to South Africa. And then Ulsan. Fourth. Group G. City. From England, obviously. I believe Al Wadad, maybe? Wadad? Nadi Al Wadad. Yeah, from Morocco. Al Ain from Emirat, United Arab Emirates, and Juventus. City. Simple. You know what? I mean, I think maybe some, because Al Ain, they didn't win the Champions League in Asia this year. They won it last year, knocking out Ronaldo. I remember they have a Moroccan kid who cooked as well in the Olympics as well with Morocco. He's a baller. Al Ain looked really great, managed obviously by Crespo, but that was the previous year. I don't know how well they've been this year. I know that they were not one of the 4 top teams in the Asian Champions League this year. So I think maybe some people that are doing predictions for Group G, they might, you know, because Juventus, they barely made the top 4. But I'm still going to go with Juve. I think they're just too strong. You know what? We're going to pick the Moroccan team to finish 3rd and Al Ain 4th. That's right. That's my feeling. Group H, Real Madrid, El Hilal, Pachuca, and Salzburg. Yeah. Simple. Bomb. Pick knockouts? Yes, sir. All right. But yeah, we picked Madrid to win it. El Hilal. Really excited to watch that game. The best Asian team, El Hilal. with a lot of money and backing and so on. We'll see how good they are against a top European side like Madrid, Pachuca, and then Salzburg. Let's go into the knockouts. This is exciting. We got Palmeiras versus Atletico Madrid, Bayern München versus Flamengo, River Plate versus Dortmund, El Hilal versus City, El Ahly versus Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea versus Benfica, Fluminense versus Inter, and Real Madrid versus Juventus. So only one European fixture, which is Madrid versus Juve. We have one team from South America, one from Africa, one from Asia, South America. So majority of the nations that are going to go in are from South America. And that's just like the World Cup. The World Cup is usually dominated by European and South American teams. But shout out to El Ahly if they can make it as the sole only African team. Palmeiras versus Atletico Madrid. Whew. I guess it depends on how good they are in that group stage. Favorites obviously are Atletico Madrid. But I mean, you could basically say that for a lot of, I mean, at least we will have at least 1 to 2 non-Europeans here in the quarters. Let's go. First upset. Let's go with Palmeiras beating Atletico Madrid. They just got that juice. Estevao cooking the shit out of Galan and Reinildo. Bayern München, Flamengo. Ooh. You know what? Let's go Bayern. I think Bayern... not project, but like company. I see what he's trying to build. He's a bit, I mean, he's not a bit. He's completely unexperienced and so on. But no, looking at the underlying numbers and so on, Bayern, yeah, I think they will get it. River Plate versus Dortmund. South America, baby. River Plate. Dortmund, they're just not that good, I think. River Plate to advance. City versus El Hilal. Another top side, European side versus El Hilal. Can El Hilal do it? And City lost, versus Palace. But I'm still going to pick City. PSG versus El Ahly. Paris Saint-Germain. I don't even have to say anything. Chelsea versus Benfica. Chelsea, Benfica. Chelsea. You see? Inter out. Simple. Inter out. Again, it's a lot of vibe. It's a lot of feeling. That's what predictions are. And obviously some logic. Fluminense is strong South American side. And we'll have 3 South American sides. All right, maybe Palmeiras don't win that. And Madrid versus Juve. Shout out Juve, but Madrid go through. And these are the cheeky quarterfinals. Bayern München versus Palmeiras. River Plate versus City. PSG versus Chelsea. Fluminense versus Madrid. Palmeiras, Bayern. I think Palmeiras' dream run ends here. Bayern München making it into the semi-final. Something that potentially they could have done if they didn't get the injuries in the Champions League. River Plate, City. Shout out to River Plate, another South American team runs here. And I think this will happen as well. We may have some non-European teams make it to the quarters, but when it comes to the semis, they will have to drop out. Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea. This was a Champions League classic. I remember we faced like 3 times in 4 seasons. But then obviously Chelsea got garbage and stopped playing in the Champions League. Had a couple of seasons in the Europa League, had a couple of seasons outside of the Champions League, and obviously recently played in the Conference League. But happy to see Chelsea back. Happy to see them back in the Champions League as well. Paris Saint-Germain. Fluminense versus Real Madrid. Man, Thiago Silva, the tears. Not in a bad way. He's made it far, but I think their run ends because this matchup needs to happen. And we have Bayern München City, PSG Madrid. Basically a Champions League semi-final. And that's basically what's going to happen. And juicy fixtures. Bayern München versus City, PSG Madrid. Bayern obviously reached the Champions League quarterfinal. City round of 32. Madrid quarterfinal, and Paris Saint-Germain were victorious. So the Champions League semi-finals are not here. Inter predicted them to go out early. Barca not here. And Arsenal are not here as well. Bayern City obviously had this as a Champions League semi-final recently. I mean, when it comes to semi-final stages, it's all about the big moments because you have really great teams in the semis. Bayern, who's gonna give them a moment? Olise is good, but I saw both legs versus Inter. needs a little bit of help, I felt. Kane has never been a big game player. Maybe they manage to sign Leao. I don't think they will get that ahead of the Club World Cup. Yeah. City, Haaland as well. Atrocious record in finals. Marmoush, though, could have something up his sleeve. Ooh. Foden having like a resurgence in the Club World Cup. I'm gonna pick City, but I mean, it's a 50-50 tie. Extremely tight. Moving on to another semi-final, we got Paris Saint-Germain versus Real Madrid. This is a game I wanted to see in the Champions League. This is a game where, you know, when Madrid faced Arsenal, I was like, okay, Madrid will probably go through and we'll face them. But Madrid obviously lost heavily. And I said to face Paris Saint-Germain. This will be a big game, huge game. Obviously, I think Mbappe will probably have a decent Club World Cup group stage and all these going into this game, potentially trying to make a last push for competition for the Ballon d'Or with Ousmane Dembélé. That's where the media, the narratives will say for this game. I think this will be a huge game. I can't wait. Xabi Alonso as well will be the Madrid manager this time. But yeah, I think Paris Saint-Germain will just be too strong. It's way too early for this Xabi Alonso era. And I mean, we've seen Madrid. Yes, they will have Huijsen. That's it. Potentially Franco Mastantuono as well. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I will upload the screenshot when we knock Madrid out of Franco in like... Great decision, Franco. But yeah, Paris Saint-Germain are victorious over Real Madrid. And the Club World Cup final will be between Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain. And we'll show who is the real oil team. Both teams obviously recently won their first Champions League as well. So it would be actually a big game. This would be a special game, but once again, Paris Saint-Germain just too strong for Manchester City. And Paris Saint-Germain are my FIFA Club World Cup winners. Absolutely beautiful. Let me know in the comments down below, who is your FIFA Club World Cup 2025 winner? That's been it from my boy PSGINT, and as usual, allez Paris.